In this video, we're going to take a quick look at how we can use Google's APIs from external networks, an example of architecture that allows this, enabling private Google access, configuring the firewall rules, and making use of the G Cloud console. Here, we're going to take a look at how you can use APIs from Google Cloud Platform services from an external network. We can use this approach to allow your on-premise servers that can connect to your private network to access GCP services without using public IP addresses. The following diagram demonstrates an overall architecture for an example solution, with a local compute instance on Amazon VPC connecting to a translation API on Google side. We connect a private network in Amazon VPC to a virtual network in our GCP project through IPsec VPN. If you use an on-premise private network instead of Amazon VPC, you would use Cloud Interconnect to have a private network connection to your GCP project. We'll use private Google access from the GCP projects. Servers running outside GCP projects cannot reach GCP APIs, such as Google Cloud Translation, by using an internal IP address, even when private Google access is enabled. Therefore, you'll use an HTTP or HTTPS proxy in your Google project to transfer API requests from external servers to GCP APIs and services using internal IP addresses. You'll need to enable private cloud access on the subnet connected to the Amazon VPC. If you're not quite sure how to do this, you can run the following example command in the Google Cloud Shell. The next step is to add a firewall rule that allows a proxy connection from Amazon VPC and an SSH connection from all external networks. The SSH connection is used only to configure the HTTP or HTTPS proxy instance. To configure the proxy without manually signing in to the instance, you can use the startup script, in which case you don't need to create a firewall rule for the SSH connection. Launch a Compute Engine instance and specify the private IP address of the instance you want to use as a proxy address. Then SSH into the instance and install the Provoxy service. You can take a look at the example command below on how to configure the Provoxy service. Confirm that the service is now configured to accept connection to the IP address and port you specified. You can do this using the command below, and the output should look something like this. At this point, you don't need the SSH connection anymore, and you can remove it from the firewall if you'd like. If you want to do this by yourself, then check out the link below. It gives a step-by-step guide. And that's the end of section 2.